Good afternoon. We are Joaquin, Marco, Diego, and me, Paz, and we're going to discuss about migration myths. Boys, uh, anybody of you know any myths of migration?
Yes, so there's a myth that says that closing borders automatically leads to reduced migration. So what do you think?
No, I think that's not true. I think that's actually a myth
Yeah.
because it it might not reduce migration, but it increases illegal migration.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I believe that. Sorry.
I Okay, no problem. So I think the same as Marco because in the black market there are many ways like to buy entries to countries, and they might be like dangerous in some way, but people still use it just for migrating to any place they want.
So
Yeah,
closing the border is not the solution to
yeah,
Yeah.
like
reduce
for
migration.
example, if the border is closed, like if you still want to go to that country, you're gonna want to. So you're gonna find different ways. So you're gonna always find a way to get into that country. So it might even,
Exactly.
I don't know, like foment migration.
Somehow it might reduce it, but not 100%, because there's always illegal like trafficking ways to get there.
Yeah, I also think that in some way it's also dangerous to like close borders because at the moment they close borders, illegal things happen like increase, so they might be more dead people or problems in the black market or things like that, like illegal problems.
Exactly. We should not attack like closing the border is bad. The situation in the other country, a
It's
bad
gonna worsen the
situation.
situation.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Do you have any other myth about
I
migration?
have heard that most immigrants are criminals and they bring violence to the country where they go.
I mean, I believe that
But
that
I
is
think it's a
okay. So go ahead. Pastor.
no, that I think it's a myth because I think there's no relation between like an immigration and crime. Also, because I've heard an experience, the experience of my aunt that went to the United States. She was an immigrant, and that um, she didn't like went and had problems with crime and did bad things. She only went there because she wanted to have new opportunities, get a job, get education, and not necessarily doing bad things or illegal
Exactly.
things.
So people, migrants, search for a better lifestyle, not to go to the country to commit crimes.
That doesn't make sense. Like if you're living in our country, first, why would you live it? It's because you're pursuing something, right? You want to improve, you
Exactly.
want to help your family, and like you're doing it for yourself, for your family, not to damage other people at all. That doesn't make a lot
There's
of
no direct connection between being a criminal and being an immigrant.
hmm
Yeah, yeah, that's true. And like one example that we Ecuadorians see at almost all time is the Venezuelan immigrants that came here. Like most of the time, you see them in the streets, and most people like I've talked to have told me like, "Oh my God, they are gonna steal my things" or like that, and that's a pretty clear like thing of that it's a myth because they don't do nothing. Even they help sometimes people in some problems, and they don't ask anything in exchange. Like it most ignorant like they say are criminals, but that's not true. It could be that some of them are criminals, but not all of them.
So we don't have to
Mhm.
generalize. Like you said here in
Yeah,
Ecuador, we say Venezuelans they're criminals. That's like the idea that we have. It is completely incorrect. We do not have to generalize. Not all of them are bad. Always there's going to be a certain group that maybe is violent, but it's a minimal group. We shouldn't categorize some people
generalize.
as
Yep,
Yes.
that's true.
Mhm.
That's a
I think
misconception. And it is also because like this myth is caused because people are uninformed about this topic.
Mhm.
yes,
So
also because well, sorry,
go
that
ahead.
I think also because we make that prejudice about them, and also there obviously there is crimes, but they are not so like a big number. But because they are bad actions, they stand out the most, and that is why people generalize.
Mhm.
Mhm. And also, like, there's another myth that I just found, and it says undocumented immigrants don't pay taxes and are welfare cheats. What do you think?
I think that's also myth. Do you know what's welfare cheats?
No, I was just gonna ask that question, by the way.
Yeah, so welfare cheats, I know what's welfare cheats. It's like when people take advantage illegally for the benefits that the state gives them, but they don't give anything in return.
Okay. Okay.
So
you said that it is not true.
yeah, that's not true, because actually most immigrants are not welfare cheats, and they actually pay taxes. For example, according to the Internal Revenue Service, these illegal immigrants paid more than 20 billion in income taxes in 2015. So actually, it's not true that immigrants don't pay taxes.
I found that 2 years later, in 2017, immigrants paid $405.4 billion in the globe. And
That is a
undocumented
lot.
immigrants, 27.2 billion. Like, that's a lot of money. So you can see they do pay. And
But-
So it's completely wrong.
Yeah, but you know why? What something else like there are some places like around the world that say that in so like different countries, different let's say government rules, like state, like for example, undocumented immigrants should like pay more, or in other countries is like they should like pay less. So it's also like in some way in the countries, like in the most countries like they pay less. Let's say they think they are like cheaters, but that's not true, because they, even if it's not so much money because they don't have so much money, they like still pay taxes. And like I think it's also like in some way wrong to pay too much taxes to documented immigrants, because like undocumented immigrants don't like have the money like the normal stable economic life, let's say. So I think like they are not welfare cheaters because of like these reasons. Like I think that's just a generalized idea.
People normally think that because they are not belonging to a country, they don't pay taxes, but that's not true. Everything that they pay, that they buy, they are paying taxes to the state.
yeah, I was
Yes.
just gonna say that, like, even if you buy, I don't know, a gun in the store, the price has the IVA, has a certain percentage that you're paying, and that goes to the state. So even
You're
if
paying
you have
taxes.
a lot of money, as you said, whenever you buy something, you're paying taxes. So they do pay taxes. I don't know, as if you have.
That's nothing differently. Like they don't pay less or different because just they are immigrant. Like you understand me? It's not different.
Mhm.
It's only because they don't have they are not from the country or they don't have the citizenship, even though that they still pay taxes.
Exactly. And
Yes.
aside that, also the salary they gain if they have a job, the salary is also like they take this certain amount of the salary to the taxes, so they don't gain all the money they should. They are
And
paying taxes.
yeah, and
also.
you know what? That even they when they work and they even pay taxes because of working, they like because of being undocumented immigrants, they win like less money, but it's still they pay the same taxes as almost everyone.
Exactly.
That's true. So as you can see, like there are a lot of myths. Uh, there are a lot of myths, and when people believe them, their perspective towards immigrants, towards migration, completely changes. I mean, if you believe that they do not pay taxes, that they bring with them violence, they're welfare cheats, of course you're gonna have a negative attitude. You're not gonna treat them correctly, but it's because of the lack of information. So
Exactly. They're not informed.
in short, we should be informed in order to treat them better, treat them as individuals, because they are people. We have to treat them the way that they deserve, that we would like to be treated. So yeah, that's the importance of identifying which are myths and which are not myths.
So mainly getting informed about this topic, about migration, about facts, about the myths, to get treated and treat people as they should be treated.
That's true.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.